You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? All right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
It needed to go one tick higher to trade.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 2nd day of August, 2016. Markets are in a tailspin. The president's speaking. Oh, wait, connect the dots. Cutting off globalization, not the answer. Oh, much too early for politics. Welcome to the show. If nobody has said Happy Tuesday to you yet, let me be the very first. Happy Tuesday. Glad to have you with us. If you are returning, you're a brave soul. And if you're here for the first time, let me extend a very special welcome. Let me roll out the digital red carpet for you. And let me tell you that I've got a chart up right now of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. If you're driving or operating heavy equipment, only listen to the audio stream. However, if you're in your office or on a park bench, then feel free to go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, Follow the instructions, and within 30 seconds, you'll be registered all the way through the end of the month. Now this means you won't have to register every day. You'll get an email 1 hour before the show starts, and you'll be able to join with one-click access, and you'll see all of the charts from the beginning to the end of the show. Since this month has 31 days, I can still say you're exchanging 30 seconds for 30 days, and that's a pretty good deal. All right? Let's do what we normally do at this time. Let's go to the numbers, and let's see what's happening around the world. We had a great morning. Michael will tell you more about that in just a few moments. Let me tell you what happened across the Americas. The Dow Jones Industrials are down 117 points. NASDAQ is down 60. S&P 500 is down 18. And the Russell 2000 is down 14. So we're in the red here. Going to our commodity basket, crude oil down again today, down 58 cents. Gold, my shiny friend, is up $13.70. Turning to Asia, the markets are mixed. Nikkei is down 244 points. That's almost 1.5%. Shanghai is up 17 points. And the Hang Seng is flatlining. It is unchanged on the day. In Europe, the color of the day there is red as well. The DAX down 186 points. That's down 1.8%. FTSE down 48. And the CAC down 81. That's almost 2%. So things not looking so good in Europe. Not so bad in Asia. Well, yeah, not so good either. And in the U.S. we're red. Yeah, we do have some green on the screen. That would be gold. And that would be the Shanghai index. And that would be it. That's all we got. Now, what do we have in the wonderful world of headlines? When are they going to let this family have some peace? Or does this family not want peace? I mean, Trump said that their son was a hero. They said Trump had never read the, what do they call that thing? Constitution? Declaration of Independence? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Constitution. Anyway, you know, they were prompted by, I don't know, somebody at the DNC to make this statement out of the blue. This guy's not bothering nobody. He's not tweeting anybody for the moment. And they come out with this statement. And so he sets them straight and says, well, actually, I have. And he did say that their son was a hero. And this has become I can't say this on Christian radio, but it's become one of those matches, you know what I'm talking about. It's something that should have never happened. I wish Mr. Trump would be a little lighter on the thumbs, or he needs a thumb therapist or a thumb monitor. Somebody needs to, verify. They need to vet his tweets perhaps before they go out, but then he wouldn't be Donald Trump. And who did the American people, out of a stage of, 16 people? The American people said loud and clear, we want that guy. Yeah, that guy. Big tall guy. Guy with the interesting haircut. We want him. So that's who we got. Now, I understand that some Republicans perhaps aren't so crazy about the choice. However, if you don't get out and vote, you might as well be voting for Hillary. Okay? Plain and simple. And the same is true the other way around too. I mean, if you're in our audience and you are not what would be considered a conservative, if you don't go out and vote for her, then you are in essence voting for Mr. Trump. So I can't urge you enough to get out and vote, period. Vote your conscience. But I will ask one thing. Go see the movie. Go see the documentary of the year, the highest grossing documentary of the year. I don't think documentaries gross a lot, but it is the highest grossing documentary of the year. Hillary's America. Find out where slavery started. Find out where the Ku Klux Klan started. People have been led to believe that it was the Republican Party, but history tells us a very different story. And the young man who, I can't remember his name, Ganoush, that's not it, that's a dish, he did a fine job. Now, he went to prison over Obama's America. He made that movie, and they sent him to jail because he donated too much money to a friend of his, Wendy Long's campaign. I don't know what she was running for, county clerk, county commissioner, I don't know. You know, it wasn't a big office, I don't think. Maybe it was House Representative, Senator, I'm not sure. But this is what he was found guilty of, donating too much money to her campaign. I know you're all laughing, right? But it's a true story. He got sentenced to 8 months in prison on weekends. He had to go spend the weekend for 8 months. He had to do 5 years of probation and 5 years of community service. And as soon as he got out of prison, what did he do? He went to work on his... I think he was working on it while he was in prison. So you need to see this movie. Okay, I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, because if you're on the liberal side of the aisle and you don't go see the movie, I say that you're afraid that you might learn something that you don't want to believe is true. And if you're on the right side of the aisle, I believe you'll learn some historical facts that when you have a discussion with someone, you can back up your thoughts and your ideas with historical facts. Because it's at this point, this neck and neck race, it's up to you and I, not only to get out and vote, but to also make sure that every friend, every member of our family, and every co-worker, I know you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion around family and friends, but folks, we're talking about the next 8 years of our country. Do you think this country can withstand another 8 years of Barack Obama? Because that's what you're going to get with Hillary Clinton. You're going to get Barack Obama on steroids for 8 years. And if Bill Clinton goes into heat while she's in the Oval Office, oh my goodness, then what? So, all right, I'll get off my high horse and I'll read this headline here, which I think I'm not going to be too clever on, but we'll see. President Barack Obama called on Republican leaders to withdraw their endorsements of Donald Trump following his criticism of the father of a slain Muslim American soldier. In a press conference at the White House on Tuesday, Obama said it was not enough for Republicans like House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to condemn the Republican presidential nominee's controversial statements, including his critique of Khizr Khan, who denounced Trump's proposal to bar all Muslims from entering the U.S. The question I think they have to ask themselves is, if you are repeatedly having to say in very strong terms that what he has said is unacceptable, why are you endorsing him? What does this say about your party that is your standard bearer? That's Obama's comment. The president continued, this isn't a situation where you have an episodic gaffe. This is a daily and weekly where they are distancing themselves from statements he's making. There has to be a point at which you say, this isn't someone I can support as President of the United States. Good. Let the politicians back away, because we're tired of politicians. The American people have stood up and said, we want this man to be our president, and that's how it should be. Even if he purports to be a member of your party, Obama continues, the fact that that has not happened makes some of them ring hollow. Obama said that Trump's comments about Khan showed why the real estate magnate was unfit to serve as president, as if Obama were fit to run as president, one-term senator. He's bankrupted this country. He's got us under this stinking Obamacare. I got a leg right now. I talked about this in the live trading room this morning. We were donating a bunch of stuff from our church downtown to a men's home, and the men from the men's home were mostly standing around, looking at their fingernails while I'm carrying heavy furniture out of the church, and they're all watching me, and one of the guys is helping me, and nobody bothers to say, oh, hey sir, there's a huge pottery urn behind you. So I fall, this piece of furniture comes crashing down on me, and now my leg is swollen up the size of I don't even know what to compare it to. But anyway, it doesn't look good. It's still pink. If it starts turning green, I'm going to go to the hospital, but it hurts and it's very large. Let's just leave it at that. Now, because of this Affordable Health Care Act, I have to pay $17,000 a year to get a free Band-Aid. Is that going to stop me from going to the doctor if the pink turns to green? No, and I probably won't wait that long. If the swelling doesn't start to, because this happened last Friday, if the swelling doesn't start to go down pretty soon, in fact, I may have to go today. But this isn't about me. This is about our country. This is about our nation. We had a healthcare system that worked just fine. And anybody that didn't have health insurance, that wanted health insurance, we could have bought them some health insurance for probably what we spend to study the mating cycles of the shellback turtle in South Florida. He added, this is the final word from President Obama. I thought I was right and Mitt Romney and John McCain were wrong on certain policy issues, but I never thought that they couldn't do the job. And had they won, I would have been disappointed. But I would have said to all Americans, this is our president, and I know they're going to abide by certain norms and rules and common sense and observe basic decency. Will have enough knowledge of economic policy and foreign policy, as if he has. His foreign policy is to give Iran nuclear weapons and some cash on top of it. For what do we get in return? The Ayatollah stands up and says, we're going to kill the American dog with this nuke they just gave us. There has to come a point at which you say enough. That was his final statement. I make that my final statement. There has to come a point at which you say, enough is enough. I'm mad. I'm not going to take it anymore. And you need to get out there. And you need to rock this vote. And you better make sure everybody knows where you stand and why. Give them the reasons. Give them the historical facts. Back in the day, when the Ku Klux Klan was riding high with those hoods on, those were Democrats, not Republicans. I know some of you in this audience are going to argue that point with me, but I'm telling you, go see the movie, and then go to the library and do the research. The man did not make up history. Now, our current administration has tried to rewrite history, but there are a few of us who aren't falling for that old trick. All right, let's pause for a moment while I put a nitroglycerin tablet under my tongue. No, I'm kidding. And let's go to Michael. Let's get a recap of everything that happened in the live trading room today. As soon as he's done, I will be back. And when I come back, I will have our good word for the day for you, along with our Concierge Trade Alerts. And I got an email this morning from Wayne Jett. Remember him? He was moving from one part of the country to the other. He finally got his move complete, and he's got most of the boxes unpacked. And he sent me an email this morning, and he said, you had been kind enough to invite me to come back onto the show, and I would really like to, now that I've gotten settled in. When's a good day? And so he and I right now are tossing back and forth some days and some times, and as soon as we have him locked in, he'll be joining us for, stand by. To Wayne, let's give it a try tomorrow. 1 to 1, Wayne Jett will be here tomorrow live, 1 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern. He's the author of a book that I can't remember the name of right off the top of my head. Michael, what was it? The Fruits of Graft. That's it. Google it up, folks. The Fruits of Graft. Great guy. He got treated with, I don't know, a little disrespect when he was on the show before by a previously unnamed co-host, and that won't happen again. We may not agree on everything, but we're going to behave like civilized human beings and still have good radio. So really looking forward to that. Michael, it's all you, man.
Okay, I'm just looking through all these messages and seeing.
Oh, somebody's saying I got gold wrong. Is that the deal?
No. I don't think so. Not today.
Well, I got a not today. Richard says, did you mean 1367? Oh, probably shouldn't say that out loud. Let me.
There was one email that came through from somebody who was using TradeStation. Valerie, I think her name was.
I'm looking at one from Richard, who it's not really Richard, it's the other guy. So anyway.
Okay.
Let me look at what I published for gold today. And if I got it backwards, I'll straighten it up. Most people have learned that my mistakes tend to be pretty common. When I make a mistake, it's like the same mistake over again, and they know how to fix it themselves. But let me just see. Long above, ba-ba, and short below, ba-ba. No, that's exactly right. Maybe he doesn't know we've rolled to December. I bet you that's what it is. I'll shoot him an email while you're doing your thing.
Okay. And the Valerie one, I CC'd you on my response to Valerie.
Okay. And
She's got her decimal point in the wrong place.
to you on a great job this morning.
Well, thank you,
In the
and
live
congratulations to you as well with the daily double, because that was definitely a double. I'll cover it here in a minute. I'll
All right,
show you.
buddy.
I'm gonna chart here.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Here we go, guys. I'm gonna hit record. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd day of August, 2016. Today on the Euro we made 6 ticks profit. On the YM we made 2. On Crude we made 10. And on Gold we made 2. So we were up 167.50 today. Today it took us 35 minutes and 4 trades to get to our goal, and we took a total of 10 trades today. So on the month now we're up $267.50. That's over 2 trading days, and we're averaging $133.75 per day. If you were to apply an $8 commission to every trade we've taken, you'd have a net profit of $123. With a $5 commission, you'd have a net profit of $177. On the year now, we're up $35,135. That's over 143 trading days, and we are averaging $245 per day. Okay. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, just go here to CFRN.net, and in the right-hand column where it says name, put in your name. Where it says email, put in your email. Click on register for a free trial. When you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click that link. Okay? You must click that link. If you don't do that, then we don't know you took the trial. So you really got to click it. Okay? Alright. Now, let's get into the trades. Today, on the YM, we actually did trade. Somewhere. Here it is. Here it is. In the morning, we took a long trade right here, and we took 2 ticks profit on that one. That was the only trade we took on the YM. It looks like I missed one right in here. There was a short trade right there. Short trade there. Yeah, I guess we could have shorted there too. I missed all that in the first 10 minutes. And then missed a couple more over here. Here. And here. Man, why was I not looking at the YM? They had a bunch of trades. Anyway, during the break, 1 short, 2 shorts, 3 shorts. That's it. Okay, there would be a short right now in the YM. Okay. In gold, let's see. In gold, we ended up with 2 ticks profit. Our first trade was right here. We made 5 ticks profit on that. Next one was right here. We made 4 on that, putting us at +9. Then we had 1 here, putting us at 10. Then we stopped out there, putting us back down to 2. And then it flattened right out. Okay, that was gold. On the ES, let's see, we pointed out a short here and here. And that was it. Okay. I must look at this for a second. Crude. 38.75. Okay. On crude oil today. Let's see. On crude, we had 2 trades. We had a break-even trade here, and then we had +10 right here. During the break, there was nice movement down here. There's a spot there, 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 and there. Were all spots to short. And then it flattened right out in here. Flattened right out.
It's just the quality of this.
Okay.
That sounds good, right? That same thing we listened to yesterday. Didn't have that blowing noise.
Okay. Next.
Turn up the volume.
Next. We'll look at soybeans. Now, in soybeans today, we had just that one break-even trade, but at this time right here, where the blue line is when the daily double trade came out, and the daily double trade said to sell right over here. And the profit target on that was right here. Right here. But during the live trading room, I was suggesting to people that they look at the leg lengths. And I thought that we might have a 10-cent trade out of that. And if you look at how far down that got, it was a 10-cent trade. Okay, that was a great call by Dwayne there on the daily double. If you're not doing a daily double, you can still do it. You just can't get in the beta part of it. You know, anybody can join the daily double at any time. You just gotta let us know. We gotta put something somewhere so that it makes it easy to join. Anyway, so we had the one trade there, and it was a break even. Okay, and there were no other opportunities. I don't think I missed anything in soybeans either, but the daily double rocked. Now, in the euro, we had 2 trades. I only see one marked, but we had 2 trades. I think I took... Where the heck did I take that other trade? I think I took it right here. I got 2 ticks profit on it. Okay, the first one I got 4 ticks profit on, the second one I got 2 ticks profit on, putting us at +6 on the euro. And that did nothing during the break. Okay. Dwayne, I'm going to type a message in the box for you. I'm not sure which one. Never mind. I won't. I'll send it to you in an email. Okay. So, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column it says register for a free trial. Put in your name, put in your email, click on register for a free trial. When you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click the confirmation link. Okay, you must click that confirmation link. Okay, I'll text it to you then, Dwayne, what I was going to say. If you don't click the confirmation link, you don't get a free trial. Right? Now, in the live trading room today, we made nothing on soybeans. We made 6 ticks on the euro, 2 on the YM, 10 on crude, and 2 on gold. It took us 35 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day, and we took a total of 10 trades.
Michael, we just lost your sound.
Okay, I'll be right there. Okay. Alright, so on the month now, we're up $267. That's over 2 trading days, averaging $133 a day. On the year, we're up $35,135. That's over 143 trading days, averaging $245 a day. That's where we stand on the day, on the month, and on the year. Right in here, guys, we have all the monthly results for the leading up to now, this year. Last month we ended up with $4,200. This month, you know, we're getting off to a little bit of a slow start, but we'll see how we end up. You know, last month we ended up averaging 212 a day, and holy smokes. I was just looking at what Ken just wrote in there. The month before we were up $244 a day. The month before that, $263. The month before that, $176, $169, $288. So it varies quite a bit, but it's always good and positive daily results. All right. With that, I'm going to shut off my recording, and we can head back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, if you are ready.
Yes, sir. I am standing by. I just wanted to... Did you send me that message you wanted to send me?
Not yet. I'm typing it right now.
Okay. Alright. And I'm going to send this message to this fella. All right, I tell you what, if you're done with the charts, I'll take them back.
Yep.
there.
Okay.
There's that.
Bill says, thank you. Soybeans Telegram made $350 on four cars, $20 commission, $330 net profit in 5 minutes, he said. So that is good.
What you just sent me, that's a great idea. So.
Okay. I got it started already.
Okay. All right. And guys, the reason I put the little frowny face here, we were looking on the S&P. This is for the Concierge Trade Alerts last night. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to do those in a minute. We were looking to sell 2164, which we had a beautiful opportunity to do here, and it gave us 6.5 points. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. It pulled up to 2164. As you know, house rules say it's got to go at least one tick above the trigger to reset. Now, some of you old hands know how to handle this, but house rules say, and so therefore I can't count this beautiful drop down to 2145, which would have been I'm saying I can't count it, I'm doing the math. 64 minus 45, 64 minus 45. It's 19 points. So that's 19 points you left on the table because we didn't go one tick higher. So happens. Did you talk about the soybean trade? Now this morning, guys, in the live trading room, on the soybean trade, I had, of course, with the daily double, you get the entry, you get the stop loss, and you get the initial target, okay? I tend to be conservative with the initial target. Did we continue to drop past the initial target?
Yes, we did. Way past it.
Way past it?
Mm-hmm.
Way past it?
Mm-hmm. Kind of like in the live trading room when I said,
I wouldn't
look at your leg.
I wouldn't feel right ringing the bell myself, but my son Gabriel's out of school this week, so son, if you would do the honors, just one. Thank you. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Okay. Now I'm looking for that email that you said you copied me on.
To Valerie?
Yeah. I see you copied me on one to Todd, but I don't see one from Valerie. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. You sent it regular email, right? Not snail mail.
Yeah. No, let me just go and look. Let me go make sure I CC'd you on it. Let's see. Sent. Yeah, you're CC'd on it. I can send it to you again.
Well, buy jingos, would you?
There. Basically, what she was saying is she's using TradeStation, and her soybeans say.
Oh, that's about
say
the
something.
decimal point in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, say something like 9/60 and 6/8. And the soybeans are actually traded in quarters, not eighths. So she's got a couple of things wrong with the way her chart is set up.
I see. Okay. So maybe, and I'm starting to work on a daily double page for the website. So we might put some kind of on certain markets like the euro and the soybeans where the pricing might vary from platform to platform. We might have an area there where people could click and check on the platform they're using and how pricing is set up.
Okay.
The only two I know of where that is an issue in the markets that we trade are soybeans, the euro, and
The only two.
I think that's it. Is it right? Okay. Alright. Now, let me get the chat box open because there was a couple of worthy, quotable chats. Was there any questions unanswered that you wanted to answer?
No, I answered all the questions that I needed to, I think.
You did, okay.
You indicate monthly average.
And I did want to ask today, the recap of the recap was...
Today I took 35 minutes and 4 trades to get to $100 a contract.
Love it when that
Maria, I'm not sure what you mean. You indicate your monthly average is 7,000, but 7 times 7 is 49. If you had 7 contracts on, then yeah. But the monthly average, I don't think the monthly average was 7,000. The monthly average is more around 5,000 or something like that.
Wow. What a powerful statement from one of our partners, Ken. God is so good, he spared my uncle's life on both occasions after the KKK tried to kill him. Wow. He had to leave to go to the dentist. Bill, congratulations to you. So glad to hear that. Telegram trade on the beans. He made 350 on 4 round trips. 20 commission equals 330 net profit on 1 contract in 5 minutes. Awesome. Love to hear that good news. And then Ken also said, for your info, does that mean I'm not supposed to read it?
That Ken said?
Well, it says, for your info, most do not know that my uncle, Horst Germany, was beaten to death twice by the KKK.
Almost beaten to death. You'll hear.
Almost, okay. For starting Bay Ridge Christian College. It began in Mississippi, where he lived. After the KKK beat him and left him for dead for the 2nd time, he decided he must relocate and found a location in Texas. He asked my dad to come and help him, and so that's when we moved from Jackson, Mississippi to East Bernard, Texas. And he even gives a an account in Wikipedia that tells the story of what he just shared with us, and I'm going to share that link.
Let me just test it, make sure it works first.
Okay.
Nope, it didn't work.
Well, there's 2 links there. You got to split them up. First one's the Wikipedia about Bay Ridge College.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see.
And then another one's a Facebook link.
Shift.
So I'm going to put
Control-X.
one in.
Okay, we got the Bay Ridge Christian College. That's there.
Okay. And then the other one is right here. Facebook. Oh, mouse, don't start up today.
Yeah, the Facebook one didn't work for me.
It did? Oh, it didn't? Okay.
I may have copied too much stuff, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
have the...
I'm going to put it in there, and if it works for you guys, awesome.
There, okay, yeah, now I got it. It's...
I just put
I
it in
just went
there.
back to Wikipedia.
It didn't show up. Okay, there it is. Now it showed up. Okay, there were some other comments in here that I wanted to take a moment to mention. It was from Ellen. Ellen said she speaks French. She said, hell no, Lord have mercy on the USA. Worse, she's a liar and a thief, and they are afraid of Trump.
When you were talking about Hillary.
Yeah,
That's what all
I think I like Ellen. We got to talk more. They're trying to brainwash instead of talking about peace here in the States. They're pitting the blacks against the whites. They are. Oh, I saw this thing last night. It's unbelievable. The people who are out there screaming, kill the pigs, pigs in a blanket, when did we kill them now? Obama invited them into the Oval Office. And according to what I heard is they snubbed him and said no. And then, but the other person said, no, they actually went. So either way, it doesn't look good. And supposedly Hillary has been in talks with them as well. So, I mean, you know, maybe she's trying to say, hey guys, back off, stop saying the pigs in a blanket thing, you know. By the way, for the record, this station, and everyone knows it, we are pro-police, okay? If you got a warrant, go take care of it, okay? Don't let your children see you grow up in fear of the police, all right? Because you got some silly warrant hanging over your head from something you did 10 years ago. Just go deal with it, whatever it is, and let them see you grow up respecting the police, okay? I've just known too many people in my life who taught their children to fear the police, that the police are no good, and they're just, you know, they just want to cause you trouble, and if they get behind you in traffic, you know, turn into the first parking lot because your plates are probably expired or something. I don't know. Just, I'm sure nobody here would be guilty of that. So, but thank you, Ellen, for sharing that. I appreciate it. You got some spirit. I like it. I like it. And she goes on to say, healthcare is a joke. We pay 5 times what we paid before the mess. You're right. I'm feeling that pain. So Bob Z's happy that Wayne Jett's coming back. I'm happy too. And I'm just scrolling down through the comments. I got all the way to the bottom. Oh, Ellen says, funny, I'm registered as Ellen. It should be Anna. Okay, Anna. Alright. Okay, guys. Let's see. What else did I have in my headline section? I don't think there's anything major because I want to get to the good word for the day. Let me just see here. There's some business about Wall Street and Valiant. I don't know that it's worth repeating. Michael, if you're getting ready for a new phone, did you say you were getting ready for a new phone?
I got a new phone yesterday.
Oh, you got it. And what did you get?
The 6E.
Apple hasn't yet announced when the latest version of the iPhone, let's call it the iPhone 7, will come out. But the company follows a predictable pattern on its iPhone launches, so it's possible to make an informed guess. The short answer, expect the iPhone 7 launch date to be Wednesday, September 7th, with the actual device shipping to people 2 weeks after that, according to an estimate by longtime Apple watcher John Gruber. Now, I said on this show some time ago that I felt the world was going to get saturated with iPhones and that sales were going to begin to slow. My co-host said I was out of my mind. Well, if you were around for the earnings report the other day, guess what's slowed the sale of iPhones? Okay, we won't beat that to death. We'll move on. If Gruber's guess is correct, and if you don't know who this guy Gruber is, you gotta go listen to his podcast. Try to think of the name of it. He's a character. That means you'll be able to buy a new iPhone on Friday, September 16th, which lines up with a previous suggestion from leaker Evan Blass. The long answer is that date is still a guess and will be until Apple announces. Here are some facts about Apple's iPhone launches. Since 2012, Apple has released its latest iPhone in September. The iPhone usually goes on pre-order a few days after the keynote announcement. Apple likes its announcements to take place on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Pre-orders typically last about a week, but have lasted longer. Let's look at when the last 4 iPhones came out. 2012, it was Wednesday, September 12th, and started shipping on Friday, September 21st. In 2013, the iPhone S announced on September 10th and shipped on September 20th. 2014, the iPhone 6 was announced on Tuesday, September 9th, and started shipping on Friday, September 19th. And 2015, the iPhone 6S was announced on September 9th and started shipping on Friday, September 25th. Based on this somewhat limited pattern, Apple likes to announce its phones on a Tuesday or Wednesday and release them on a Friday. So, I thought this was going to tell us we're expecting the iPhone 7 to have an improved camera, a waterproof casing. Oh boy, that's going to be a blessing for people who have a habit of bending over and it falls out of their shirt pocket into the toilet. I've taught you all in the past how to fix those phones with some rice and a woman's ankle-high stocking. It works too, like a charm. And here's the best leaked photo we have to offer you at this time, right there. Now, y'all ready for this? I told you yesterday, we were talking about visions. We're getting into our good word for the day now. Yesterday we were talking about visions, and when God gives you a vision and making sure the vision is from God, and talked about a vision that I had, on Friday night. Not like I'm tripping and seeing colors kind of vision, but a vision to create jobs. I already have a job, and I got more work to do than I can, but when you start a business and you create a job and you can hire even the top level management. So you just have to, like every time Donald Trump, remember I said this yesterday, every time he opens a new casino or restaurant, he's not in the kitchen washing dishes. He's creating jobs. So this Fresh and Easy up on the corner, you guys heard me brag about for years how to shop like a European. Well, they went out of business. The whole thing went bankrupt. Tesco sold it to some company here out of California, and because of California's high taxes and other things, it just bankrupted the whole company. Building had been sitting empty almost a year. And I said on this show yesterday, I said when I talked to my agent and he has a chance to call their agent, I've already been through the PDF, the demographics, the population density, the income. Oh, it's incredible the depth of study they've done. I said my first fleece offering is going to be if the rent comes in, the lease comes in at around $10,000 a month. I said that yesterday on this radio program. It's on the podcast. When I got off the radio yesterday, called my broker, and I said, where do you think we're at here on the lease for this thing? My lips to God's ears, he said, we're somewhere between 9 and 11. That sure sounds a whole lot like 10 to me. So now we're talking to him about how many months of free rent up front based on a 10-year lease. There is no market in this for I don't know how many square miles. There's no place to run to and get stuff except like the Circle K, and that's just creepy, running to get anything at the Circle K, like for a dinner, or I mean if you need a snack or a cold drink or a tank of gas, it's okay, but And I'm going to tell you what's really popular. Some of you will think, oh, yeah, that's wrong, but I've always said I would tell you the truth. Something that's become very popular in Phoenix are these stores that are dedicated to nothing but beer and wine. Okay? Now, I know some Christians believe that, alcohol is the devil, and I believe all things in moderation, and I know that Jesus' first miracle was he turned water into wine. So we're not going to argue theology on this. But on the east side of Phoenix, there is crowded into a very small area, 3 or 4 of these very large wine stores. And they're doing very well, by the way. Okay? Those of you that are on the trial, you want to make sure you go to Michael's meeting this afternoon, which starts in about 15 minutes. If you missed the show, you can always listen to the recording later. Okay? But if you're on the trial, it's very important that you are a part of that meeting. And I think Michael's already over there getting the room set up right now. Okay. Okay. I was distracted for a moment, and now let me pick up where I left off. Oh.
Actually.
Yes.
Here, let me put the link in here. I'm still here for right now. Let me just put the
okay.
link in. That is a link to the meeting that starts in 15 minutes. Okay, now I'm gone.
All right, bud. Take care.
All right. We'll see you.
So, if these huge stores are doing so well that they're able to keep, and they're in a part of town over by the Biltmore, 24th Street and Camelback. It's a very Tony expensive area. But we are out by South Mountain, and within a stone's throw from here are some $1 million homes, okay, that have bounced back from the when real estate fell off the map. It bounced back. They were a little over $1 million. They fell to 400,000. They're back in the 800,000-900,000 range right now. So those people, they drink some wine. Now, did you know, this is a fact, that grocery stores put items that you are most likely to buy. I want you to think about the last Walmart that you went in. Where was the milk? All the way at the very back of the store. Why is that? Is that the only place they could find to put the dairy case? No. They want you to walk the length of the store from front to back to get your milk. And as you walk by all those other aisles, there's a good chance you're going to grab up on something. There is a science to the grocery store industry. I got a little bit of it in my blood. My dad managed an A&P when I was just a toddler. That was the A&P Pacific Tea Company. And so I'm not saying I'm going to open the Fresh and Easy. I haven't come up with a name. I haven't decided what products I would carry, and I don't know if they're flexible enough on the lease. So there's still an awful lot of this vision for me to determine if this is a God-given vision or not. So we'll stay in touch. John JT said on one of the Lord's feasts, he said to bring strong drink to his feast. I did not know that. Marvin says, I think Apple already has the iPhone 9 on a shelf waiting for you to get tired of the one you just bought. But see, I think what's happened is these phones have gotten so advanced that when you go from a 6 to a 7, okay, they waterproof it, the camera's a little better. That's about it. I mean, already, if you own an iPhone 6, you got more computing power in your pocket than went to the moon with Neil Armstrong on the first trip to the moon. So I don't think people are just going to forever keep buying these iPhones just because a new one came out. I mean, the shiny is wearing off the apple. Ha, pun intended. Okay, and there's going to be a slowdown in sales. Now, this is a company that has either $100 or $200 billion in the bank. Not an American bank, by the way, but in a foreign bank. And Trump says he's going to make them bring that money home. Or I think he said he's going to strongly suggest that they bring that money home. And I think we should even allow them possibly a one-off or a tax break potentially to bring the money home, but they can never send it offshore the way they've done in the past again. All future money made in America stays in America. Marvin says he also said he lit off his Camel. Was he smoking too? Oh, okay. Alright, let's go. Go to our good word for the day. What do you say? What do you say? Alright. Get my notes up here. Alright. Yesterday we talked about vision. Today, I want you to look forward. Stop looking behind you, because there's nothing you can do about that. And if you're in traffic and you're looking behind you, you're going to run into something. Philippians 3:13 says, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. See, your best days are yet to come. There are things inside you that must be dealt with before you can move ahead. Every experience you've had from birth until the present moment has helped shape who you are. The things that happen to you, good and bad, are instrumental in determining how you'll act and react for the rest of your life. Paul talks about forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. You ask, what did Paul have to forget? Well, quite a lot. Paul was there looking on with approval when Stephen, the first Christian martyr, was stoned to death. In fact, he offered to hold the other men's cloaks as they stoned Stephen. So I would say Paul had a little bit he needed to forget. Before he met Christ on the Damascus Road, Paul routinely imprisoned and put Christians to death. He had that authority given to him by the Jewish Sanhedrin. The fact is, if he hadn't overcome his past, he would never have written half the New Testament and helped establish a church that would last 2,000 years. Was Paul perfect? Not even close. That's why he said, I keep working toward that day when I will finally be all that Christ saved me for and wants me to be. I am still not all that I should be, but I am bringing all my energies to bear on this one thing. Forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead, I strain to reach the end of the race and receive the prize for which God is calling us up to heaven because of what Christ Jesus did for us. Philippians 3, 12, and 14. The only place the past can live is in your memory. And the only power it has over you is the power you give it. Now you think about that for a minute. Whatever bad thing you've done in the past, or whatever bad thing that someone has done to you, or whatever bad thing has happened to you, it is in the what? The past. That's right. And the only power it can have over you today is the power that you give it. Remember what I told you the other day. The human mind, faster than, the greatest supercomputer, can only hold one thought at a time. One thought. Yeah, I know the supercomputer can do billions of calculations a second, but it still can't do what the human mind can do. Now, you can only have one thought at a time. Thoughts can flash through your mind by the millisecond, microsecond, images popping up on that big screen in your mind. But you have the ability to do what Paul encouraged you to do, is to take those thoughts captive and cast them down. Think of things that are good, noble, and true. That's how you are able to stop the past from controlling your future. Until you learn to let go of the past, until you learn to forgive yourself for your past, until you learn to forgive others for your past, you're going to continue to live in the past. And as long as you live in the past, you cannot move into the future. So let's agree today, whatever wrong has been done to us, by us, let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive those who hurt us. And if it was just something that fell out of the sky and dropped on our head and it was nobody's fault, let's forgive that too. And let's move forward. Because whatever we think, say, and do today, that is the building block of our tomorrow. So whatever you want your tomorrow to look like, you need to start building it today. God gave you the power to remember the past, but He did not give you the power to do anything about it. He also doesn't allow you to see the future. All we have is this moment right now. So it's obvious to me the building blocks that He's given us. We can remember the past. We know what we don't want to do again. He gives us the ability to think, speak, and do everything today that we want to be our tomorrow. Put that into action. Begin today. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty slick. I'm going to start that next week. Start today. If you want tomorrow to be better than today, then get started on it today. Now, don't live too far out in the future, okay? Because you'll miss life. I had an experience when I went to Hawaii, and I had my new Apple phone, and I was snapping up some pictures, man. And we went to, our friends who lived in Hawaii took us to this Buddhist temple. I know this is a Christian radio show, but it's on the map for tourists who come to that island. You go by and you see this place, and it is, I've posted the picture on the blog somewhere. It is just stunning. There's a lake in front of it, and it is just the most incredible peace. It's quiet. And I had my iPhone camera out, and I was trying to get this shot and that shot and get behind the bush so there's some depth of field, and all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, Dwayne, you're one of the most beautiful places you've ever been in your life, and you're missing it because you're so busy trying to capture the moment instead of living the moment. Turn the phone off, put it in your pocket, and go walk around. Walk through the flower gardens. Enjoy the place. Some Buddhist spirit not going to jump off on you and all of a sudden you won't be a Christian anymore. God's stronger than that. We serve the true living God, and so you don't have to be afraid of that. You go to a place, and those Buddhist monks, they were so respectful and nice and kind and gentle, and they didn't try to proselytize us in any way. We just were allowed to walk around and enjoy this incredible beauty. And as soon as I put the camera away and quit worrying about snapping all these pictures, I really started to enjoy it. And I did that to the best of my ability, because I'm human, the rest of my trip. Every time I saw something that just took my breath away, I resisted the urge to reach for my camera. I wanted to be in the moment. So you be in the moment today, knowing that how you're in that moment and what you do in this moment right now, that's your building block for tomorrow. And that, my friend, is our good word for the day. Start looking forward. Okay, let's get on off to the charts. You already know the sad story about the S&P 500. The alert we sent out last night, which I am about to show you. Sell 2164. Okay, triggered like a charm at 6.5 points. It's a beautiful day. Now you're not going to get out the exact swing low. As it starts to pull back at some point, you're going to take your profits. Maybe you get out with 4 points. I don't know. If you use the indicator set, that can help you determine where to take your exit. Now, as price came back to test the important price, important area, the swing high was 2164. It needs to go one tick above the trigger to 64.25 to qualify it as a fresh trade, and we've already dropped all the way to 2141.50, from 64 to 41.50. But the rules are the rules, so let's not beat that to death. Let's go to the Dow. Okay. All right. Now last night the alerts went out a little bit late, 10:15. So that's 20:15 in military time. So we're going to plant our flag on each chart today at 20:30. That gives you 15 minutes to run down to your inbox, get the mail, and then get back to your charts. Okay? You with me? It's a joke. But not really. Boy, can I get it all in one picture? Come on. There we go. Alright. So, there's 2030. Last night we wanted to buy 18,380, which didn't happen. The swing high here was 18,375. Okay, so we never triggered on the long side. Our short trigger was sell 18,340. That, I believe, happened. There's a little bit of reality in that. So let's draw our line and go find 18,340. There it is. Okay. So we sell 18,340. Okay. Now on this first move down, we drop to $273. So 340 minus 273 gives us 67 points. There's no ticks in the Dow, just points. So 67 times $5 per point. So that's almost $350 per contract. Now, price again tried to pull back and test the trigger, but it didn't get as close even as the S&P. Okay. Now again, those of you who are experienced and have spent time with me and one-on-one mentoring sessions, you know how to do that. And when that candle closes, you know how to get short on this candle here. Okay. But we'll save that for the private mentoring sessions. Moving on takes us to gold. Where's my gold sign? There we go. Now, when you have a big day in gold, you tend to have a consolidation day, and then after you have your consolidation day, you often will have a big day. Okay. Now, we got to drop our flag. Went out at 10:15, 10 and 12. It's 22:30. Okay, if I got that wrong earlier, I apologize. If I said 20:30, I meant 22:30. 22. Is that it? No. $22.30. Okay. So we take this one away. Now, GGCZ by 1356. Let's go find 1356. First swing high right here is 1367.80. So from 56 to 66, you know what I'm gonna say, right? $1,000 per contract right there. Now there was a slight pullback, and then the market continued higher. if you're trailing your stop, you very easily may have been stopped out here with a profit. That's a very good thing. Now, we also have a rule of thumb that says on any day that you make $1,000 per contract on any instrument, take your money and go away. Okay? Because if you take your money and go away, you'll keep your money. And you'll have plenty of money to come back and trade another day. Bill, Dwayne, I am not getting these alerts. Can you fix that? Bill, the Concierge Trade Alerts are a separate product. If you're not familiar with it, send an email to support@cfrn.net, and Michael will send you an email that tells you exactly what you get. There's a quarterly rate, there's an annual rate, and you can be receiving these alerts in your inbox tonight. Okay? Support@cfrn.net, and just say, Michael, please tell me how I can get the Concierge Trade Alerts. He'll tell you what you get, and he'll tell you what it's going to cost you. Okay? Alright. So, I want to throw the indicators up here to see what would have happened if you were trailing just behind the BBC, as some people do, you'd still be in the trade. If, however, after you hit this $1,000, look what happened. The step line crossed below the MA1, and then you had this was a long trade. You had a red candle close below the step line, which was below the MA1, right? And so the close of this candle is 1364. So from 56 to 64, your $1,000 trade just got whacked back to $800. Okay, but you still walked away with $800 profit per contract. And with gold, well, let's take a look. When this thing triggered, now you could have taken any one of these little triggers across here, but on that candle, there's 700 contracts, 400 contracts, 1,400 contracts, 1,000 contracts, 2,500 contracts. See what I'm saying? So there, if you want to trade 10, 20 contracts, if that's what you want to grow into. Now, we don't trade 10 contracts just because we have the money. We start in sim. We prove ourselves consistently profitable 10 days in a row. We go live with one contract. We increase our account balance by $2,000. Then we add our second contract. Then we go to a calendar-based schedule designed to take you from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. Okay? That's called the 24/20 blueprint. If you become a CFRN partner, if you enroll in our 90-day mentoring program, you'll receive a copy of the blueprint, and that will be yours to keep for life, as well as the indicator set. At the end of your 90 days, you are welcome to stay connected at the hip. You still want to get the weekly trading zones. You still want to come to the trading room. You still want to come to the workshops on Thursday night. You still want to do all the things partners do. There's a minimal monthly maintenance fee, $75, and everything stays the same forever, as long as you want it to. Okay? Alright. So, you could have got out here, indicator told you to get out, take you 800, you go home. Nice day. Nice day at the office. That's if you're just trading one contract. But if you've earned the right to trade 5 contracts, you had the entry, I teach you how to put your stop loss, you didn't get out at the 1,000, you didn't use the rule of thumb, but you're trading 4 contracts now, you've earned the right, you get out at the $800 mark, hey, that's still 4 times 8, it's $3,200. That's a nice day at the office, okay? But again, no overnight riches. We don't jump in and trade 5 contracts and 10 contracts just because we have the money. We retired, we sold our business, we got an inheritance. There are places out there, and it's a shame. They give you a couple indicators, tiny bit of knowledge, and then just say go after it, without any word regarding money management, trade size, all of the things that you need to know to be successful long term in this market, in these markets, whatever market you decide you're going to try to trade. Now, those of you who are not a partner yet but are on a trial or considering becoming a partner, Michael has 5 markets up every morning. We're not trying to teach you to trade 5 markets at one time. But because he has the years of experience, he can jump from market to market and show you where there's a trigger based on our rules. Very simple set of rules. You use the same trade setup on every market. We trade gold exactly like we trade crude, exactly like we trade the S&P, exactly like we trade soybeans. There's no difference, okay? All right. So with gold, it went on to put in a swing high so far all the way up at 1374. So 74 minus 56. It's $1,800 per contract. That's if you somehow stayed in it and got out at the top, which would be just creepy if you could do that. But if you were trailing your stop behind the BBC, you would still be in the trade. Okay? All right. Let's move along to bonds. Okay? Here's bonds. Here's 2230. Oh, I thought I could get it. There we go. 2230. Okay. All right. ZBU6 buy 173.03, be a seller at 72.10. We never reached the buy zone up at 173.03. Right there is 173.03. This is when the alerts came out. It's actually 15 minutes after they came out. Never got to 173.03. Okay, now short side. So 172.10. 172.10. There it is. All right. 10. You know, they're having quite a ceremony in Paris today for that slain priest. Keep all the folks of France in your prayers. They've been through a lot. And what a shame, this priest standing in front of his congregation, brutally attacked. Modern day martyr. All right, 172.10. That's our sell signal. It dropped to 172.04. That's 6 ticks. Now, bonds pay 31.25 per tick. So we're talking, this little move's $180 per contract. Okay? And important prices, important areas, almost always tested. Down we go again. This time we put in a swing low at 171.04. So here's how you do that math. There's 32 ticks to a point. If the swing low is 171.04, well, let me do the short math for you. How about this? 172.10 to 171.10. That's $1,000 per contract. From 172.10 to 171.10. That's 32 ticks times 31.25 per tick. It's $1,000 per contract. Okay. Now, if you were running your indicators on this trade, see if I can spell per right. Okay. Insert. Alrighty. Down we go. Step line gets on the north side of the MA1. We get a bullish close above the step line, which is above the MA1. This candle closes at 171.24. So 24 to 32, that would be 8. So you would have 18 ticks times 31.25 per tick. It's almost always better to follow the rule of thumb. It says when you have $1,000 per contract on the trade, what do? You take your money and go. Go pet the dog. Take your wife out to lunch. Go sit in the park. Just meditate on the goodness of God. The beautiful trees and the flowers. Laughter of children. Whatever it might be. Whatever brings you joy. You worked hard, you had a nice day. Go be happy, you know. Now, price did come back up, and it did get back above the trigger. And it dropped to a swing low of 31. So that would be 11 ticks times 31.25 per tick. Okay. All right. Next, crude oil. Oh, Jed Clampett. What a classic show that was. Ellie Mae and Granny, Jethro with his big old lunch basket, I mean, when I was a kid growing up, every morning before I started school, I remember I stayed with she wasn't really my aunt, but we called her Aunt Pearl. It was a duplex, an old house, a duplex, and my mom and I and my little brother lived in one half, and Aunt Pearl lived in the other half, but my little brother and I, we spent most of our time over on Aunt Pearl's side hanging out with her, and she loved it because she never had any kids of her own, and her husband passed away at a very young age. Never did know why, but every morning, me and her, we would watch, let's see, I Love Lucy, and then the Beverly Hillbillies, and then Andy of Mayberry, and then Dick Van Dyke, and then I knew it was lunchtime. True story. Good times, good times. What a great woman. And she cared for it. Now, my mom paid her some money for watching us, but I know it wasn't much because my mom had a factory job at, you've heard me talk about the pants factory. It was actually called Thompson Company because the name of the town we grew up in was called Thompson, but all the locals, a large percentage of that small town worked at that one plant where they made men's pants, and everyone just referred to it as the pants factory. So my mom worked standing on her feet at the pants factory, and so I know she couldn't have paid Aunt Pearl a whole lot. I was 7 years old when my mom and dad got divorced, and my dad was ordered to pay $80 a month child support, 40 for me and 40 for my brother. So anyway, she didn't do it for the money. She did it because we were like our own kids, you know. So a little trip down memory lane. All right, crude oil. Last night, let me put the line 22.30. Got it. 22.30, right on the nose. Okay. All right. GCLU. Be a buyer at 40.40 and a seller at 39.90. A buyer at 40.40. A buyer at 40.40. Okay. Okay. All right, so we trigger and we wiggle back and forth, and we go up 10 ticks right here on this candle, and it crosses over and it goes up 10 ticks. That's your goal for the day. If you're just trading the 2420 blueprint, $100 per contract per day, you're done on this candle. If you got out at the top, which you didn't, so when it dips below and takes off again, this time it carries you up to 40.67. So that's 27 ticks times $10 per tick, which is $270 per contract. Okay. All right. And then price dips back below the trigger. See, it got right below it. Off we go again. Now this time I don't know if this thing ran down below or after, so I'm not going to count the high mark. I'm going to count the low mark just to be conservative. So 84. So we'll call that 44 ticks, or $440 per contract. I'll write it a little different. I'll write it 440 per contract available. Okay. Okay. Now, on the sell side, GCLU, looking to sell $39.90. $39.90. It's going to be right there. Okay. Sell. $39.90. And the swing low so far. $39.26. So 90 minus 26. Let's see what we got there. 90 minus 26 equals, okay, so that's 64 points, or ticks. $640 per contract available. Okay. We don't get out at the swing low or swing high because we trail our stop, and so we always leave a little on the table. And we don't get upset over that because that's the truth about trading. Okay. All right. Now, let me take a peek here. Okay. All right. Next is soybeans. Okay. And there's 22.30 right there. Okay. Now let me pull this down and stretch this out a little bit. Okay. Last night, the ZSX by 9.9, be a buyer at 962 and a seller at 955. So 962. We're at about here. Okay. Buy 962. don't know what that thing was. It just came flying across my screen. Says update is ready to install. Oh, that's some kind of Adobe thing. Alright, well, we can live without that. Alright, by 962, so the first trigger took us up to 965. Okay, that's 3 points. So that's 3 times $50 per point. It's $150 per contract if you got out at the exact swing high. Latrell, yes. The Crude Daily Double is still in play. And it will be in play up until 4 o'clock. Although, you know, if you well, here's the thing, is you put the order on now, and if it triggers, it triggers. But you want to make a mental note that at 4:05, you're going to go to your platform, and you're going to make sure that you're flat everything all across your platform. This is for everybody. If you're trading the daily doubles, you're trading Concierge, you're trading the one trade a days, whatever, however you're trading, okay? 4:05, make sure you get flat. Now, if you got something that's like right on the edge and you want to take it up to 410, okay, but don't push the envelope beyond that, right? I don't want to see you get stuck with the higher margins. Now, they do this thing where they open back up at 4:30 and then they run it to 5 and then they shut it down for the day and then the new session starts, and it's just makes me nervous, especially in earnings season, because when they reopen at 4:30 Eastern, you could get a gap, especially on days like when Apple reports after the bell or any of the big guys report after the bell. You could have a gap open at 4:30, lower or higher. So, you know, just be flat by 4:10 at the latest. Don't play, you know, race the clock and try to stay into the final minute and all that stuff. Just, you know, if you got money, you got profit in the trade, just take it, be thankful, and come back and trade another day. Okay. Now, last night we said to buy soybeans at 962, so that was good for 3 points. And then this was good for 962 up to a high of 968. That was good for 6 points. Six times 50. Okay, then you got below here, and you closed right above it. This came back to here. You know, I'm just not going to count that. There was a little something there, but I wasn't there to see exactly how it played out, so just let it go. On the sell side, 955, which is right here. Okay. Sell 955. Okay, swing low was 943. 55 minus 43, that would be 12 times $50. Also, soybeans today was one of the daily double. I think you could ring the bell twice on a daily double. We had a daily double trade in soybeans, and since it's already hit its target, I'll reveal it. I'm cautious on the targets, and I may not always reveal them because traders know that I give them an initial target on the daily double, and I tell them when I think there's depth below the initial target. So our soybean trade of the day. I'm showing the other trade. I'm such a knucklehead. Consider selling soybeans at $9.54, which would have been right here, 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 there. And I'm just going to put DD. Okay. And the initial target for the beans was $9.49. So for the daily double target, I think I'll call it DDT. 9.49. Okay. And so today's soybean daily double. Let's see. Sell 54.49. So that was 5 points. 9 and 5 is 14. Yeah. 5 points times $50 per point per contract. Now, again, in the live trading room, I told the traders, I said, guys, I'm being conservative with the initial target. I believe that this trade has the potential to drop farther than 9.49, and as we can see, it did. It dropped to a low of 9.43. So there was the potential for an additional, 4, 5, 6 more points on top of that initial target, depending upon your ability to trail your stop and how comfortable you are with that. In the beginning, you probably just want to go with the hard target, and over time, as you gain experience in the markets. You begin to increase the number of contracts. You might take one contract off at the initial and then, tighten up your stop and then see where, you end up with the balance of your position. Okay? So, God blessed us. We had a great day. The soybeans, both on the Concierge and on the Daily Double. Let's go now to the NQ. And let's drop a line. 2230. Okay. NASDAQ NQ by 47.60. I got those back. No, I didn't. No, yeah, it'd be a buyer at 60, a seller at 49. Buyer at 60. Didn't happen. Seller at 49. Oh, it didn't happen. Ain't that a shame? Shameful. Did trigger a second time for all of that. Now again, once you've been in some mentoring sessions with me, you'll know how to take advantage of that, even though it doesn't re-trigger up here. But in the beginning, you're just going to count on that. Well, actually, in the beginning, you're just going to get your daily goal, and you're going to be done. All right. So sell 47, 49. Okay. And the swing low. $32. Oh, my eyes are playing tricks on me. 47.32. So 49 minus 32. 49 minus 32. 17 points. All right. Now, NASDAQ pays $20 per point. $17 times 20 per contract. So even though we left all this on the table, we still had a very nice trade. Don't you agree? 17 times 20. Okay. 17 times 20 per contract. That's a little over $300 and some dollars. 15 points would be 300 on the nose. So, all right. What have we not covered? The Russell. Covered everything but the Russell. And my leg hurts. I don't mean to complain, but I really think I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. This does not feel right. I mean, I just fell down. A piece of furniture fell on me. I mean, it tore the skin and all that, but something's not right. It feels balloonish. I don't know if you've ever had a swollen. Amazon man comes to my house like 5 times a day because my wife, she reviews all these products for these different companies. And then I get to keep the toys after she's done reviewing them. Pretty cool when you think about it. $22.30. That's gonna be right there. Okay. So our last market of the day, I believe the Russell RLMU 6, sell 12.16. Sell 12.16. Okay, looks like we got some two-sided action on this. Oh, we got multiple. Oh, that's gonna be nice. So 12.16. Somebody's telegraphing me there. What's up? I guess I don't have my app open here, but why would it make that noise if I don't have my app open? Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Let's get this finished. Sell 12.16. Swing low here was 12.13.40. So that's going to be 26 ticks. Times $10 per tick. So that's $260 initial move. Then we get back above the trigger, and we're down, and we're back, and we're forth, and this little low here is 12.15.20. Is that right? The low? No, the low's 12.14. Okay. That's 20 ticks. Okay. We get up here, and then if you trigger back in on this one, it only dropped to 9 ticks. You could have potentially got yourself stopped out there. It could happen. And then the big trade was this one. Put in a swing low at 11.96.40. So let's just round it up to 95. 12.16 minus 11.95. 12.16 minus 11.95 equals 21. Points times $100 per point per contract. Russell pays $100 per point. 10 ticks to a point, $10 per tick. Okay. Okay. So basically, this is a $2,000 trade from 1216 to 1206. That's $1,000 right here. $1,000 per contract. Okay. And then 1216, 1206, 1196. Oh, we didn't quite make it, did we? 11. The swing low was 1196.40. So we were 4 ticks shy. 4 ticks shy of $2,000 per contract. No, 3, 2. 4 ticks shy of $2,000 per contract. Okay, recap it real quick. S&P 500, we have 6.5 points. This is based on the Concierge Trade Alerts that were emailed out to the subscribers last night, as they are each and every night. Okay, 6.5 points. Then we had a huge drop, but it didn't go 1 tick higher. Then on the Dow, now the subscribers get all 8 of these markets, not just 1, not just 2, they get all 8. If you want to know how you can become a Concierge subscriber, just send an email to support@cfrn.net. How do I get in? We'll tell you. You can get tonight's Concierge Trade Alerts in your inbox. Okay? It can happen that quick. Alright, we got 67 points times $5 per point. And this one didn't pull back quite far enough to trigger a second time. On the gold, $1,000 per contract. It went substantially higher, another 1,000. But because of this pullback, you probably got stopped out, trailing your stop. If you were trailing outside, behind the BBC, you're still in the trade. But we're just going to call it a rule of thumb. Anytime you make $1,000 per contract on one instrument, what do? You take your money and you leave. Bonds, $1,000 per contract, plus 11 times 31.25, plus 6 times 31.25. Crude oil, on the long side, we had 27 ticks at $10 a tick. That's $270. And it triggers again for $440 per contract. And then it triggers on the short side for $640 per contract. Soybeans, $150 per contract, $300 per contract. That's what the market made available. And then we were to sell $9.55. Okay. And the daily double had you selling $9.54. The daily double gave you a target of $9.49. So the daily double, 5 points at $50 per point per contract. So that was good for $250. So as you can see, just one trade could cover, just one trade with one contract can cover your entire, cost for the week. So, and then we had 12 times 50 on the concierge. Let's see, on the NQ we had 17 points times $20 per point per contract. That's $340 per contract, I believe. And we didn't quite trigger the second time. Made a couple of those today. And on the Russell, we had 26, and then 20, and then we had $1,000 per contract, and then we were 4 ticks shy of $2,000 per contract. Okay. Now, with the Concierge Trade Alerts, remember, you know the exact entry. In private mentoring sessions, I teach you how to read the chart so that you know exactly where to put your stop. And then we also go over how to determine exactly where your target should be, or how you're going to trail your stop to know exactly when it's time to exit the market because the trade is over. Okay? All right. Let me see if anybody has any questions in the chat box. If not, I know I've got a real busy afternoon. Latrell says, Ninja closes me out automatically at the end of the trading day. Okay. Beautiful. Ellen says, I Love Lucy is still on daily. Or Anna, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you. I won't tell you what she said because I would blush, but it was very kind of her. Wayne, how many ticks do you risk on the trade alerts? It depends, Wayne. You have to learn how to read the chart, and the chart will tell you how much risk is required for that trade. And so you'll evaluate the trade. Some trades you'll walk away from because there's a little too much risk involved. And as you know, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. And where you might not take the one where there's a lot of risk, you wait for the opportunity where it triggers, where there's a minimal amount of risk, and that's the one you trade. So there's no fixed number of ticks that you risk on the trade alerts. I teach you how to read the chart so that you don't need me to tell you where to put the stop. You evaluate the chart, you place your stop, and you're good to go. If you have any questions, guys, on how to become a concierge subscriber, it is an incredibly popular product. You get 8 markets every night, 2 trades per market, and as you can see, they trigger again and again throughout the trading day. So I would love to have you as a part of the family and work with you and teach you and help you, and if I can be of service in that way. It all starts with an email to support@cfrn.net or call me 415-888-8255. 856-5754. And if I'm on the phone, call Michael 949-42-E-MINI. Okay? 949-42-E-MINI. 415-857-5654. We're the most reachable guys in the world. You can always get a hold of us. And I know some of you've tried and you couldn't get a hold of us and you're like, yeah, right. No, we really are. Because when you email support, it goes to both of us and it goes to our phone. And so the only time the ball gets dropped might be on the weekend, or if I think he already got back to you and he thinks I already got back to you. If somebody doesn't get back to you real quick, say, hey guys, I know it's not like you. It's been an hour and I haven't heard back. And then we'll probably end up both calling you. So be prepared for that. Anyway, I love you guys. You help give additional meaning and purpose to my life, along with my wonderful wife and my wonderful kids. And it's a wonderful life. And God wants you to have a wonderful life. So you go get a glimpse of that vision, and you stop looking over your shoulder, you start looking forward, you start looking ahead, and you start building your tomorrow today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-host, and guest. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.
Yep, tell me when it stops.